I'm Veronica Cresto. I'm so honored to be sharing this session, this time with you. Today, we're really going to be diving into something special. We're going to be exploring how to embody limitless confidence and magnetic visibility. We're going to be activating the deepest level of confidence that's hidden inside of your energetic body. This will make more sense once we get there. We're also going to be discovering how to overcome your fear of rejection so that you can step into confident visibility. And then I'm going to be guiding you through a practice that you can slip in your back pockets so you can unlock confidence and magnetism wherever you go, whoever you're with. I encourage you to light a candle. You might even have some fresh flowers on your desk. Just to give you a little background of who I am, I'm the author of The Diamond Process, using everyday triggers to awaken the treasure within. Prior to writing that book in 2011, I had just come out of a deep transformational time on my journey. I had moved to the Redwood Forest, left my life in Los Angeles because I was going through a lot of emotional turmoil. I just felt worthless. I didn't know what my purpose was in this world. I had been facing depression and I was really struggling internally, even though on the surface of things, my life looked really, really good. I ended up going to the Redwood Forest to face myself, to face my triggers, to face my emotions, and left my entire life, everything I had built, behind. Now, in that process, in that journey, I awakened into a really deep friendship with myself. And I started to heal my life. And that's where the Diamond Process book was born. But really, it didn't actually get written until years later. What happened was I ended up creating my first online course in 2011. That online course changed my life. It was the first time I had created something, put it out into the world, and then a group of people I had never met before found me online, signed up for the program, and I delivered this body of work, which eventually became a book and then became a coach training certification, because my clients kept asking me, I want to learn how to coach the way you coach. I want to learn how to go deep like this. I'm having such a transformational experience. Will you train me to be a life coach? And I was like, I'm not a coach trainer. I don't even know how to do that. This is 7 or 8 years ago. And then finally, after getting that request over and over and over again, I started with a beta course to train life coaches in the Diamond Process modality as spiritual coaches, transformational coaches, really. And then that grew into a beautiful global coach training program that still exists today, that my husband and I co-founded together, and we facilitate it together, which is a really joyful experience for us. I share all of this with you because when I was in those redwoods, actually my first step before creating an online course was I started to make videos. I didn't know what I was talking about. I didn't have a plan. I didn't have an agenda. I wasn't trying to build a business. I just needed to express what was on my heart. And at the time, this is 2009, YouTube was brand new. It was just this new platform that very few people knew about. So I started sharing my voice on there. And lo and behold, as I shared myself authentically, I started to mine up the value inside of me, which completely changed my life. Until this day, the majority of my business comes from YouTube. So I want to extend to you what I have learned about visibility, not just in my own life, but helping empaths, healers, coaches, therapists, creatives to get on video and confidently share their unique message and bring it out into the world in a really powerful way. So today we're going to be diving into how to embody limitless confidence and magnetic visibility. I really encourage you to take a deep breath, have a journal and a pen so that you're really clear on what visibility blocks you are harboring in your system, in your energetic body. There are actually 7 core visibility blocks. 7 core visibility blocks. Some people have all of them oftentimes, or you might have 1 or 2 or 3. These are the core ones. And when we can clean these up, we are free. Each of these blocks is actually tied to one of your energetic centers, one of your chakras. In your journal, I really want you to, your notebook, I want you to just write down which of these you carry, because I'm going to give you a solution for each one. Okay. All right. So the first visibility block, core visibility block, we're going to be starting from the root chakra all the way up to the crown. Now, if you don't know what the chakras are, they are energetic centers in the body that correlate with different areas of our lives. Number one, core visibility block. And I want you to think of this one as foundational, okay? This is the foundation of visibility blocks. It's the root chakra. And it really says small equals safe. It's the small equals safe syndrome. If you can't see me, if I am tiny enough, I'm safe. Because if you can't see me, you can't hurt me. Now, this is the foundational. I want you to think of what we're moving through. It's like we're starting with the foundation of a house and we're going to be building upon that house. This house is your house of confidence, your house of visibility, your house of power, of being able to manifest, create, live this beautiful life and business that you're here to live and create. This first core block, visibility block, is really a vow of smallness. It's some unconscious vow that I'm going to play really small in order to be safe. The fear of being judged, is what rules this. And this is the most common. And this is right at the foundation. So imagine if we have this one, the whole house is built on fear of rejection. So the whole house can collapse in any moment. It's going to be very hard, no matter how much accountability you have, how much you learn. It's going to be very hard to put yourself out there if you have this one running. It's a tribal fear. It's really around, if you accept me, I'm safe. If other people accept me, then I belong to the tribe, then I will survive. So there is a solution to this. And that solution is to become your own safety. Let's take a breath, because I know this is a big one. And exhale it out. I want you to just write down anything that resonates with you. And I also really want you to connect with and tune in with your physical body as we move through all 7. Just bringing breath, because some things are going to be clearing and shifting. Bonds are going to be released. Limitations are going to fall away just through this sort of awareness, bringing it to consciousness, and through the practice that we have together at the end. Okay. So breathing, 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 spreading your toes, inhaling through your nose, if possible, and exhaling out through your mouth. Just feel free to shake it out through our time together here. So the solution to this, playing small equals safe, which means basically I have to hide, which means I'm never going to be visible and I'm never going to grow a business, because if you can't see me, you can't buy from me. You can't enroll in my services. If you don't know I exist, how are you going to be impacted by what I'm here to share with you? I've been hired by a consulting company actually many years ago to create their YouTube channel and film their executive coaches who are powerhouses. As soon as I put the camera on them, they all shrunk and went into these like terrified children. And that's actually when I realized many years ago that if their power and voices are locked up on camera, imagine how many of us, imagine how much wisdom is not reaching the people that it needs to reach, because of the fear, because of the vow of smallness. So this is really about becoming a fierce guardian of your inner child. If you don't like the word inner child, it's becoming a fierce guardian of yourself, a fierce guardian of your body. This is about loving yourself like safe mothers love their children. This is about coming into your body, and I want you to think of one of the solutions here as grounding, earthing. Putting your bare feet on the earth will be a massive resource. Connect with Mother Nature, connect with this great mother who is always holding us, and really get good at setting healthy boundaries. Second core visibility block is the busy bee block. The busy bee block. This is if you are always too busy. You just are overwhelmed. You're too busy to put your content out there, to make a video, to dive into your calling, to make the space for what you really want to explore and share with others. If you are constantly running out of time, you're always behind, you do things for everyone else, but you never have enough time for yourself, then it means this one is running. If you feel, you'll know if you have the busy bee block, if you're sort of constantly buzzing like with energy, but you're just not grounded in your physical body. And the real issue here is that you're not willing to feel your feelings. If you have this one, then you're just not willing to feel your feelings. It's like almost fearing your feelings, and I can't tell you how many clients and students I've sat with who are terrified when I turn the camera on them or we build out their course together. I have a program that I guide people to mine up their soul signature course from deep in their soul. It's a very powerful process, and people love it. And they create incredible courses. And then when it's time to turn on the camera, many of them, they are afraid to feel their feelings. They are terrified of, slowing down and actually feeling what's going on. And they just want to escape, not be seen, because all of these feelings often come with being seen. And turning on a camera, being visible, is going to pull up all of those fears naturally. This is why most visibility coaches, their approaches aren't going to work in the long term, or they don't often work, because they're not addressing these deeper underlying issues that are foundational. So the solution to the busy bee block is actually to slow down and get curious about what you're feeling. The solution is getting really good at feeling your feelings. If you are constantly in your head, learning, growing, thinking, like overstimulating yourself, doing checklists, always putting stuff in your brain, consuming, and never actually connecting with your emotions, connecting with yourself, feeling what you feel, crying your eyes out when you need to, then it's going to be then you have this one, it'll be very, very difficult to actually be confident and visible. Okay. Another resource here is to connect with bodies of water. I want you to think of this as second chakra, right? The first block, the vow of smallness, just think of that as the base, the root, your root chakra, and this is your sacral chakra. So connecting with bodies of water, connecting with the moon, the energies of the moon, the cycles and rhythms of the moon, the light and darkness that we carry in our emotional bodies, really powerful. All right, the third core visibility block is I'm not valuable enough. I'm not valuable enough. This is a trance. It's like a trance of negativity that is bombarding our culture. Have you ever felt that way? Like, I'm not valuable enough. And you doubt yourself. Like, so you have this great inspiration to do something, and then suddenly doubt kicks in and says, who am I to do this? No one's special. I'm not valuable enough. So this is really an identity issue. This is an identity issue. If this is running for you, I'm not valuable enough, this kind of trance, then you haven't yet realized how powerful you are. You haven't yet realized how powerful you are. And so this is really good news, because this trance of negativity, this trance of I'm not valuable enough, is clearly pointing to that you have some confusion around who you actually are. And if you have confusion, it means you've sort of there's a veil over you connecting to your power, knowing who you are. And the good news is, if it's a veil that was placed on you unconsciously, it can also be flung off, okay, released. So the solution for this block is to own your expertise, to own your worth, This is really important. I just recently sent a journal to a client of mine to write down in that journal all of the testimonials she gets every single time she has a win, to write it down, to start owning her expertise, her worth, the impact she's making. Really important to digest your wins. This can't happen without the first and the second being in place. It's very, very difficult to know who you are when your foundation of safety is broken, when your connection to your emotional body is weak. Just think of that first core block. That foundation of safety is like the foundation of a house. The second is like putting up all the frames of the house, the frame of the roof, everything. That's your emotional body, connecting that. This third one is like the electricity in the house. If you don't know who you are, you don't know your worth and your power, you're going to have a house with no electricity. Another resource for this one is to connect with sunshine, okay? Connect with the sun, the solar power, the powerful energy of the sun. You have that same solar power in your solar plexus. Okay. The fourth, are you having fun, by the way? I love this so much because if you can stay breathing and resourced as we're diving into these chakras and set the intention with me to clean up and clear away anything in your energetic body that has been holding you back from being visible, from owning your worth, from sharing your expertise, from knowing who you are, for loving who you are as you share your voice and your message. Just letting it all clean up, as we're moving through here. Just your intention is very, very powerful. The fourth core visibility block is the bleeding heart block. The bleeding heart block. The bleeding heart block is a terror when it comes to, if I share this, I'm afraid it's going to hurt people. If I share this, I'm afraid of the pushback or somebody taking it the wrong way. This is really like a cage. Think of this as a cage. It's like the people pleaser, good girl cage. I can only be good and I have to please others, and anything outside of that, I'm not allowed to say. So I'm going to stay in this cage. It's a very painful cage to be in, because when you're overly responsible for other people's feelings and you take responsibility for other people, you're literally unable to have the courage to share what you're actually here to share. This is a big one for many of us empaths. It's a courage problem. You know, if you water down your message, and I want you to write this down, if you water down your message to please other people, it's going to be bland. It's going to be tepid. People might go, oh, she's sweet. That's nice. That's nice. And then they'll click away and you'll wonder, like, why is it crickets? Why is no one buying my amazing, powerful program? Why are people finding me, but not going the long haul with me, not really attracted to my work? And it's because you become invisible in the process of pleasing others. You become invisible when you play good. A mentor of mine once said, you're not here to be good, Veronica. You're here to be real. You came here with a unique message, with a unique voice, with a unique storyline, with a unique set of skills and wisdom. That, I guarantee you, is very far from bland. It is one of a kind. It's fascinating. It's dynamic. It's amazing. It's powerful. And it's very clear when people who are aligned with your message, they just immediately know it's for them because you're not watering it down. The people pleaser is not leading. Your soul, your heart, that signature message, that signature course, or that signature medicine that's on your heart is just expressed. The solution for this one, and I understand if you don't want to hurt people, you don't want to say something that's going to piss people off, you want to keep the peace, you don't want conflict. That's a big one for the bleeding heart block. I understand that. And here's the solution. Okay. This is going to change your life if you can apply this one. If you know that your intention is pure when you share what you're here to share, If you know that your intention is pure, meaning you're not saying what you're saying to hurt somebody, you're not saying what you're saying out of malice or something, you're sharing it because you know it can help somebody, you're sharing it from love, then no matter what somebody else experiences when they hear the message, it's not your job, okay? It's not your responsibility to have to manage everyone else's emotions. Your job, and this is the solution, is to be very clear of the purity of your intention before you say anything, before you do anything, before you are visible. So before I turned on the camera, my intention is very clearly to help you, to help empaths, to help those of us who are here to spread love in this world, to feel total and complete comfort in our skin and confidence to share what we are born to share what we're here to give in this world, and to heal whatever needs to be healed in order to embody the full radiance and the full magnitude and the full power of our purpose. Okay, so to me, that's a pure intention. I'm here to serve others. I'm not here to get something or hurt someone. Knowing that, however this lands for you, is entirely in your court. And that's what needs to happen to really resolve the bleeding heart block. Because if you're like, oh, I'm scared to share that. What if I don't want to hurt someone? What if you've got to be willing to let people judge you? As I gulp, I'm like, you've got to be willing to let people judge you. Literally hand people, when people judge you, like, here you go. You can have all your judgments. They're all yours. They have nothing to do with me. They're entirely yours. My job is to be in the business of isness, to share what I'm here to share, to do it in the most authentic way, to free myself from the cage, and it really is a cage, and the bleeding heart block that has me trespassing on other people, thinking that it's my job to make sure that they are okay, that they feel okay based on what I share. That's trespassing. Give people the dignity of their own feelings, of their own judgments, of their own life experience. Okay, let's take a breath. And exhale it out. I just want to remind you that the number one biggest fear for people above death, research shows, is being visible, public speaking. Take another deep breath in and exhale it out. One more just like that, inhaling deeply and exhaling it out. Okay, this is the witch wound. If that doesn't land right for you, if you have some strange connotation with the word witch, then, or something that doesn't land for you, think of this as the persecution wound. This is really a collective spiritual trauma carried through generations and generations when females, not just females, actually some men, were killed for having deep intuitive gifts, for sharing more spiritual ideas, spiritual energy, for being more in the feminine, more in the magical realms. You have this if your throat often closes up, if you want to share, but you don't even know where to start because your ideas or your wisdom are so limitless that you don't even know how to break it down into something digestible to share in a video. It's like you have this grand connection to this ancient wisdom, and it's almost like you become a bottleneck. It's like being connected with this vast wisdom, infinite wisdom, limitless wisdom. And when you go to share it, it gets stuck here. It feels too big and you just don't know how to share it, where to start. If you've ever said, I just don't know where to start, then you might explore this likely is going on for you. If you have extreme resistance to getting on camera, to being visible, to sharing your voice, it's very likely this is running for you. And it just means it could be even, when I say generationally, it could be generationally, like we're all connected to the collective, right? Not just in the witch trials, but so many times people being persecuted for sharing love, for sharing intuitive gifts, spiritual gifts, beauty with the world, having power, having energetic power. Yeah. It's a big one. It's a really big one. So the solution to this is to stay practiced in expressing yourself authentically. The throat chakra is all about authentic expression. Stay practiced. What I mean by this, so every morning I chant, I sing, and this isn't for anyone to hear. This is just my authentic voice, whatever wants to come through me. Sometimes it's whatever sounds, because I'm staying practiced. As a speaker, as someone who is visible, your voice, your body is your instrument, your voice is your instrument. So just like a pianist tunes the piano, tune your voice by getting extraordinarily comfortable with speaking unedited, making sound without it needing to sound good or please somebody. It's all about self-expression, authentic self-expression. So a solution here is to make video diaries, for example. This is something I teach in one of my programs. It's the best. Look straight into the lens, turn on the camera for your eyes only, and just share the most honest things, and then delete it, right? It's just for your eyes only. Get comfortable, get practiced in sharing your authentic voice. The sixth visibility block, core visibility block, is the comparison cage. Does anybody have this one? Do you have this one? So you know you have this if you're sort of watching from the sidelines what everyone else is doing, and you're thinking to yourself, oh my God, they're sharing the exact same thing I would be sharing, and they're doing it way better, and they have a huge audience, and they look way better doing it. The comparison cage, feeling inferior to others and putting others like on this pedestal. Feeling inferior, if you do feel inferior, or just like you compare yourself to others and it pulls you out of the game and it feels horrible, you might even have jealousy or envy. Feeling inferior is really the result of having a weak connection with your interior. I'm going to say that again because you might want to write that down. Feeling inferior is the result of having a weak or a weakened connection to your interior world. That means your feelings. Most of us are overthinking and judging ourselves and locked in the mind. That's not what I mean by your interior world. I'm talking about your energy. I'm talking about your feelings. This is where there's no duality. There's no comparison, because you're singularly focused. It's like you're tuned into this one-of-a-kind gift that's inside of you. Now, the solution here is that to realize you're one of a kind and there's no comparison. You are beyond comparison. And the solution is to focus on who, if you have this one running, this is really important. It's very, very powerful, and it's connected with the sixth chakra. Who are you talking to? In your mind's eye, if you can visualize one person, not an audience. When I turned this on, I'm not talking to, even though this is reaching thousands of people, I wasn't talking to thousands of people. That would have destroyed me. I pictured one of my students who I absolutely love, who I'm committed to seeing blossom, who's already really blossoming a lot, and serving her. I'm talking to her. So I always ask myself before I turn on the camera, who am I talking to? Who am I talking to? This shifts me out of comparison, out of overthinking, out of duality, into singularity, singularly focused on serving one beautiful human. Okay. Seventh, oh my goodness, we're at the final one. Seventh, core visibility block. The perfectionist headlock. And yes, it is a headlock. When the perfectionist is running, it's like being in a headlock. So you know you have this if you just keep procrastinating. If you are a procrastinator, you probably have the perfectionist block. And if I had the perfectionist block, I'd be very upset right now. There we go, because my camera just went blurry. But I do have the perfectionist, or I had the perfectionist headlock. And I get to face off with it on a regular basis, right? By doing exactly what I'm sharing with you today. So if you have this kind of narrative in your head that says, I can't share until it's perfect, until my branding is perfect, until I look perfect, until my message is perfect, until my website is perfect until I have the perfect set, until, blah, 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 blah. Then this is definitely running and it will hold you back forever because perfect doesn't exist. And I promise you that the perfectionist will always find a reason why it's not perfect enough, even if it is as close to perfect as it could ever be. So the solution here is to give the perfectionist a beautiful and permanent vacation. Like send the perfectionist off to Barbados to lay in a hammock and enjoy. In my programs, I'll often say for these 5 weeks or 6 weeks or however long the program is, just for these 6 weeks, just give the perfectionist a break. And I want you to fail and mess up and just make a mess of things. Like be proud when you mess up, when you do it like shabib, like crap. Like get comfortable in the mud and in the muck and be proud. Like I have sisters in my membership, Soul Centered Life and Business, who make videos intentionally. One woman the other day, she had like her couch with all this crap on it. And she's sharing a video in the group. And she's like, I was going to fold all that and clean all that. And I realized, no, like I'm breaking through the perfectionist block. And so here I am with the mess in my house. And it was so endearing. Fell in love with her even more. And you want to know the truth? If you want to, I just heard someone say this, it was so potent. When screenwriters are writing screenplays, if you want to guarantee a way to make a character unlikable, unwatchable, make them perfect. Make them perfect. Nobody wants you perfect. Nobody wants any of us perfect. And we are so programmed to believe that we need to be perfect to be loved. If you have this one running, you know the pain of it. I know the pain of it. And if you take nothing else from this workshop, I want you to know that your flaws actually make you lovable, relatable. Your flaws make me relax. And this is one of the big things I had to learn, was that I wasn't doing a service by making everything so perfect and never revealing the mess of things of my life, because my life is a mess and it's magic and it's incredible and it's a mess sometimes. And I'm an emotional mess sometimes. And if I can't share those things, then it's, yes, people won't connect with me. And that's definitely a way to fail. Because if you don't connect with people, how are you ever going to thrive in your relationships or your business? But more than that, it's such a disservice to myself to hide parts of myself in order to gain something, right? So you have this one running if you have something really valuable to share and you're still not sharing it because it's not perfect yet. The solution to this one, which is connected to the crown chakra, connected to your infinite self, is to welcome failure, befriend failure. And I really want you to not only expect failure, but to redefine success. This is going to change your life, what I'm about to say, because it definitely changed mine. And I see it be a pattern interruption for so many clients and students when they have this running and they keep procrastinating. This shifts everything. It's a pattern interrupt. I want you to redefine success as the win is you doing the thing you're called to do, but are afraid to do. That's your success. Not if someone likes it, how they respond, that's icing on the cake. And I know this is completely counter to what any business coach is going to tell you. But if you don't have the horse in front of the cart, your business will burn you out like it did me. Okay? It's got to be that the win is you are showing up really powerfully and sharing authentically, and you're actually doing the thing that most people are afraid to do. Yeah? Yes, yes, yes. Okay. I want to share with you a secret. There's only one block. I just shared 7 with you, but those are just branches off of a tree, a trunk of a tree. And that trunk of this fear-based tree that keeps people hiding from and not doing the thing they're called to do, they're really on this earth to do, is that there's a blatant block to living in your greatness, in our greatness. And it's the root of every single block all 7 blocks I just shared with you. And it really comes down to fear of rejection. The one block, the only block, is fear of rejection when all eyes are on you. Now here's something else. That's actually not the bottom of it. I used to teach this, like if we could overcome rejection, fear of rejection, we're golden. But in the last year, I've discovered there's something deeper, and it is the bedrock of fear of being visible is not a fear of rejection from somebody else when I'm visible. The latent block to limitlessness, to greatness, is what I do to myself emotionally when I think you're judging me. When I hit end broadcast, and what I do with myself, what I do with my emotional body, if I abandon what I feel, that's what I'm really afraid of. So the latent block, the bedrock of fear and hiding and playing small and feeling traumatized in this world, and definitely being visible, is a disconnection from or a fear of our own emotions. If you have a disconnect in relation to your emotions, if you're constantly fearing rejection of others because you're relying on them to validate you, it's because you haven't mastered, or at least prioritized, feeling your feelings and being the safety for yourself, being the safe harbor for yourself. So the way to feel 100% secure in yourself, 100% secure. This is the energetic secret that makes you magnetic. It makes you capable of anything. You can create anything, do anything. You're unleashed, you're limitless, is to get great, fantastic, masterful at regulating your emotions, at loving yourself like a mother, a safe mother loves her child. Using this rite of passage of visibility to be with what we feel activates so much pleasure in our lives, because when we can sit with the pain, when we're no longer running from pain, shame, fear, anxiety, anger, all the things, feeling worthless, whatever it is, when we're no longer running from that pain, and I'm going to share with you exactly how in this process of how to regulate your emotions in the completion of this workshop, when we are now able to be with our emotions fully, so much pleasure is accessed. Because in order to push away the pain and run away into thinking and trying to control and be a people pleaser so you don't dislike me, so then I don't feel bad, and all whatever my habits or patterns are to avoid pain, to avoid feeling, if I'm not doing that anymore, then I'm open. And if I'm open and I can feel anything, now I don't have to also push away pleasure. I can feel the pleasure of my life. And I really believe the real purpose of our lives here is to live fully, to be fully alive. And that means both pleasure and pain, and not push away either. And in the process, we awaken into a limitless, beautiful level of greatness, of visibility, of confidence, of service that's not out there trying to save the world and be a martyr, but actually enjoying our lives and being a messenger of what that looks like, to be radiant and loving our lives and what we're here to share. So how do we regulate our emotions? Let's take a deep, deep breath as we complete the workshop here with this practice. And it is so incredibly simple that you'll be able to literally like slip this in your back pocket, okay? So take a breath. And I want you to imagine that you were just visible. You just shared a video. You hit end broadcast. You put the phone down. This is where the real work is. Most people will go into tracking metrics and putting us in our heads. It's a way of running from what we feel, or they'll go into some kind of addictive pattern, something to numb out the feelings. Now, instead, we're going to go straight into the feelings. How? Through 5 A's. Okay. This is all in the Diamond Process book. I'm going to give you a shortcut today. 5 A's of the Diamond Self. Number 1, first A is awareness. I've just hit end broadcast. I become aware. I slow down and I get intimate with what I feel instead of racing into overwhelm. Next. No. Awareness. What do I feel and where do I feel it in my body? So I'm naming what I feel and I'm locating it physically so that I come out of the mind and I come into foundational presence and connection with myself, mothering myself. Oh, I feel shame. I said that thing by accident. Oh my God, everyone knows. And I'm so like, I should pull the video down. Most people will go pull the video down. Okay. And that's like sabotaging their careers, sabotaging their message. Instead, come into what do I feel? Where do I feel it? Awareness. Ooh, I feel shame in my gut. Great. Take a breath. Just being really clear on what feeling is present and where you feel it. Second A of the Diamond Self, or your limitless self, is authenticity. I want you to give the feeling a voice. Give the feeling a voice. If that shame could speak, what would it say? I can't believe I said that thing. I am so embarrassed. If somebody sees that, they're going to see that I'm not worth it and they're not going to buy my programs because I am clearly not valuable enough or good enough. Oh my God, I'm an imposter. I'm a fraud, whatever it is. Just listening, authenticity, give the feeling a voice. So we're not judging it. We're not pushing it away. We're not trying to make it different. We're just listening. Third A of the Diamond Self, this is the most important. Allowance. One question you ask yourself in this moment. Am I willing to allow this feeling to exist? Am I willing to allow this shame in my gut or this anger in my heart or whatever you're feeling, this sadness in my heart or this terror in my throat, whatever it is, this anxiety where I'm out of body? Am I willing to allow this feeling to exist? I'm not asking you to like it, just asking you, it's an energy. It's not you. It's an energy like a cloud passing through the sky. Are you going to let the cloud pass through the sky, or are you going to try to push it away even though you have absolutely no power in that? You have no control in that. Most people think they do, and we do not. The power we have is to allow what is present and what we feel. The fourth A of the Diamond Self is acceptance. Now we're just going to take that allowance to the next level. Am I willing to allow this feeling to exist? Yeah. I don't have to like it, but it's here, so I'm going to allow it, because what I resist persists. If I fight it, it gets bigger. If I allow it, I relax. Great. So now fourth is acceptance. Acceptance is really about mothering this feeling. You can place your hands where you feel it, hold it, be with it, breathe. We're not trying to get rid of it, which is key. Just imagine a child just walked in with a lot of fear, a lot of pain, a lot of shame, whatever the feeling is. Are you going to kick that child down the stairs into a basement? Or are you going to hold that precious child and let it feel what he or she feels? Once you're present with this part of you, I do this often, almost every night. I hold myself. I feel what I feel. I meditate. I'm present with myself, almost like I'm holding a little girl. And eventually I get to the question, and this is for it to get to really accept this part of ourselves. What is it that you need, sweetheart? Asking the feeling, what is it that you need? I just need you to hold me. I just need you to take some time off of work. I feel like, can we go outside and sit under that tree? Can you just let me express in free form writing or something in my journal? The answer will be very clear. You're starting to connect with your emotional body into your interior. What's at the bottom of all these emotions is usually an unmet need that was not met a long time ago in childhood. So if we can meet that need as a conscious mother or parent, now we start to stabilize. We become our own safety. We become unshakable in our own acceptance of ourselves, including the emotions we did not want to feel, including the emotions that others rejected. Now we step into the 5th A of the diamond self, or your limitless self. Appreciation. What do you appreciate about this feeling, this trigger? What was the gift in it? Wow, I so appreciate that this feeling in my body slowed me down enough to see what I actually need so that I could supply it with myself. Man, I've been desperate for a day off of self-care. So I can supply that for myself. And now I feel clear on my next step because I'm in my body. I'm in my intuition. I'm in my power now. Not out of my power somewhere in my mind, but in the moment in my body. So I thank that part of me. Thank you so much. I love you. I'm here with you. I'm not leaving. You're my number one priority. I'm becoming the safety for myself. I'm regulating my emotions by being with what I feel rather than thinking about what I feel. I'm feeling what I feel. Another deep breath in. And exhaling it out. Whenever you're ready, opening your eyes. And I just want to thank you so much for being on this sacred journey with me. I'm so, so grateful for you being visible, sharing your gifts, sharing your medicine. Those simple 5 A's are how you can regulate your emotions anytime. Awareness, authenticity, allowance, acceptance, appreciation. Before bed, you can run those through your mind as you hold yourself, you're present with yourself. The energetic secret to becoming limitless in your life and business is just make it a daily habit to befriend your emotions. The mind is going to try to talk you out of it and say, this isn't the way, this is meaningless. How has that worked for you so far? Become the safe place for yourself versus expecting others to be a safe place for you. If you expect your audience to be your safe place, it's a very unstable foundation. All right, my friend, I hope you loved this workshop. I hope you got so much out of it. If you had the 3rd chakra one, especially, which is, I just don't feel like I'm valuable enough, or I don't know what my expertise is. I don't know what my message is. I know there's something in me, but I just don't know how to share it or what it is, or you question your worth. I want to help you with that directly. And the way I can help you with that, I'm extraordinarily passionate about helping empaths to mine up their soul signature courses, which is what I call it. It's a body of work, just like I did this for myself many, many years ago. It changed my whole life. I did my first online course. And that first online course led to a book, which led to a coach training program, which has given me the most beautiful life. And it started with me blocking out a period of time where I created my first course and put all of my value into a program. So if this is something you want support with, I want to let you know about my favorite program that I offer, which is available to you. It's called Confident Course Creation School. And it's really about turning your wisdom into a program that helps people, and you can confidently sell because you know the value of it. I take you through a very deep and beautiful journey of 6 weeks, step by step. I guide you through this process of mining up your core message, your soul signature message. And we design it into a beautiful program that by the end you feel so confident about. This is like an asset that you will have for the rest of your life, because the way you will be creating it is from your soul. It's actually what's like signed on your soul to share with the world. And it's in a really self-nurturing way. You're going to be going deep into self-care through this journey. It's not just work, 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 create, create, create. It's really about getting yourself in the energetic frequency and in the receptivity to access much deeper wisdom within you and pour that onto the page. If this is something you've been wanting to do, really own your worth, your expertise, get crystal clear on what you're here to share and put it into a course that helps people and you can confidently sell, I have very good news. Usually this course is self-paced, which is powerful, and a lot of people do it that way. However, when you sign up, you'll also get access to it live, which starts on May 8th. So May 8th, we are going live. This is probably the last time it'll go live. And that means you get me live with the program every week in a Q&A where I directly support you and a beautiful group comes together. So if this is something you want, now is definitely the time to take advantage of this. Go to thediamondprocess.com/course. And I cannot wait to share this journey with you if this speaks to you and you are a yes. Thank you so much for joining me today. Mwah.